electoral reform segments of the weekend show. In the course of the week, about 5,000 Nigerians signed a petition urging the National Assembly, especially the Senate, to commit to electoral reform, most especially to have Electoral Act 2020 repeal and reenactment, and that has been the demand of many Nigerians. Also, the Senate committed to an enduring electoral reform. The Senate President, Dr. Ahmed Lawal, charged the Electoral Reform Committee to do its best and collate the views of Nigerians, and this actually is a good news for us and all Nigerians who will believe that committee will definitely be doing a lot during the course of the annual recess, because the Senate also on Thursday, embarked on its yearly recess against the expectation of some Nigerians who are actually, like me, who are actually called that the Senate should stay put and get this Electoral Reform Act bill done and dusted. My name is Ariyo Atoye. I am not alone. In the studio with me is
Banker Ilori Oyeni. Good morning, Nigeria, and thank you for joining us today. Governance is a social contract between the elected and the voters, and it is responsible for the voters to discharge their own side of the bargain. Today we'll be discussing voter apathy in Nigerian elections and how we can address this challenge using the electoral reforms. In Nigerian elections, we have witnessed severe decline in voter participation during the process. In the 1999 general elections, over 57 million Nigerians registered to vote, but only 52.3% turned up to actually vote on the election day. In 2003 elections, over 60 million Nigerians registered to vote, but only 69.1% actually voted in the elections. In the 2007 elections, over 61 million Nigerians registered to vote, but only 57.5% voted. Also, in the 2011 elections, out of over 73 million Nigerians who registered to vote, only 53.7% voted during the elections. In 2015 elections, over 67 million Nigerians registered to vote, and only 43.7% voted during the elections. In 2019, when we had the highest number of registered voters, we had over 80 million registered voters, but only 34.75% actually voted during the elections. What do you think could be responsible for this gap in
Banky, I must confess that it's a very troubling trend for us as Nigerians, and I think the stakeholders must be really worried about this, including those of us also agitating for electoral reforms. There are a lot of factors that are responsible. You realize that the incentives, for the reason why people should come out to vote is actually not there. Good governance has been, missing, in our country, and also we cannot divulge the economic situation of the country. Before 2019, you realize that Nigeria became the poverty capital of the world, and that actually reflected on the election where you had massive decline. When there is no food in the stomach, it's difficult for people to actually come out. We believe that elections should actually be a referendum anyway, and that's why we are here discussing that, look, Nigerians should not give up, they must come out to vote. Also very instructive is the issue of violence, which has now become a serious problem, in our elections. Year in every election cycle, we've witnessed, massive violence. In the last elections, hundreds of Nigerians, were killed, and this shouldn't be the case. We have a video clip from a Nigerian who was also contributing to electoral reform. Let us hear what he said.
I'm Samuel Sichuku, and here are 3 ways to fix elections in Nigeria. The first is a legislative review of our electoral laws, with a special focus that guarantees the autonomy of institutions that partake in our elections. This would help their loyalty to be focused on the nation and not to the pockets of the political paymasters that have dictated our electoral tunes. Let the I return to INEC. Secondly, there should be a creation of a special elections offences tribunal. And the mandate of such a tribunal should be to try electoral offenders and even open a register of electoral offenders, because every electoral crime that goes unpunished emboldens the perpetrators. Thirdly, there should be a strategic and continuous.
Thank you so much, Ariyo. Chef T, so we have the finished... Andy, he's not been waiting. We have the finished product here. So our full English breakfast, our pancakes, baked beans, sausages. We already ate the bacon, we have to confess. It was just too tempting not to. The mushrooms and the tomato. So where can they find you? Well, our constant viewers already know, but tell those who are watching for the first time.
I'm on Instagram at BakeMyDayNG. I'm always online.
So do you do private, cooking in people's houses, or do they just order from you and you deliver?
Yeah, I do mostly delivery, but I mean, who says I can't cook if the price is right? I mean.
Of course. But this actually tastes really nice. We ate the bacon just before they came back to us, and that's a testimony to show that it was amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks for always doing
so much.
this.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let me pour some more coffee for you.
Thank you so much. So while we're, taking this down, we thank you so much for joining us in today's program. Follow us on social media. So let's eat breakfast together. We'll continue this conversation on social media. So follow us on there at Weekend Show NG on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll see you same time, same place next week. Until then, yes, register for the 4th edition of the Osaso Show Symposium on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. The theme this year is Rethinking Africa. It's virtually, but you still have to register. So we'll see you next week. Take care. Cheers.